Hello and welcome back to our channel, where we take another dive into the world of mythology. Today, we're focusing on a divine figure who often doesn't take the limelight like Zeus or Athena, but is nonetheless central to the pantheon of Greek gods. We're talking about Hestia, the quietly powerful Greek goddess of the hearth, home, and family. So, sit back, relax, and let's journey back in time to appreciate the role Hestia played in ancient Greece and how that resonates in our lives today. Let us begin with the origins of Hestia. As the firstborn of the Titan Cronus and Rhea, Hestia holds a unique position within the cosmos of Greek mythology. She is both the oldest and youngest of the first 6 Olympians, due to a little episode of filial cannibalism. Cronus swallowed each of his children at birth to circumvent a prophecy that predicted his downfall at the hands of his offspring. Hestia, being the firstborn, was the first to be swallowed and the last to be regurgitated, hence becoming both the oldest and youngest. Hestia's name speaks volumes about her character and her domain. Derived from the ancient Greek word for home or hearth, her very identity is interwoven with these concepts. Her Roman equivalent, Vesta, carries similar connotations, connecting to the Latin word vestal, which means guardian. The connection between these varied terminologies neatly ties up the essence of our subject for today. A goddess entrusted with the safekeeping of the home and hearth. As a deity, Hestia represents the personification of the hearth's sacred fire, hence her strong associations with living flames and the concept of a secure home. These were not mere symbols warranting a passing nod in rituals, but they held, and perhaps even now hold, profound cultural and social importance. In ancient Greece, the hearth was the heart of the house. It was a space of warmth, sustenance, and kinship, a place where meals were cooked, tales were spun, and familial bonds were forged and strengthened. Each home's hearth was perceived as an earthly extension of Hestia's heavenly abode. The flames crackling in the hearth were seen as Hestia's embodiment, warranting respect and even reverence bordering on the divine, entirely fitting for the goddess who was the fire. But perhaps the most significant symbol associated with Hestia, one that broadcasted her role, was the perpetually burning fire housed in her temples and on the public hearth of Greek city-states. This public hearth, known as the Prytaneum, was more than just a community bonfire. It was the city's sacred fire, an undying flame viewed as the embodiment of the city's unity and resilience. It was Hestia's shrine, her earthly abode, the spiritual center of the city-state where the goddess herself resided as a comforting, protective presence. The flame was tended religiously and was never allowed to go out. To let the flame die was considered a dire omen, indicating divine displeasure and impending misfortune. It is fascinating to ponder upon a fact: despite her prominence and respect, Hestia seems to be largely absent from most Greek myths. Typically, Greek mythology is rife with tales of deceit, betrayal, lust, revenge, and heroic exploits, and involves gods often stepping into the earthly realm for some amorous adventure or vindictive act. Yet, when it comes to Hestia, such salacious or turbulent tales are non-existent. Unlike the other gods, who were often seen as excitable, spiteful, vengeful, or overly passionate, Hestia was seen as constant, calming, and peaceful. To the ancient Greeks, she symbolized the hearth's comfort and warmth, the intimate bonds of family, and the sacred duty of hospitality, which otherwise revolved around wars, conquests, and political machinations. Her essence was invoked during the founding of a new settlement, and her flame was carried to the new city, marking it as an extension of the parent city. Similarly, when Greeks embarked on overseas voyages and set up colonies far from their homeland, they'd carry Hestia's flame on the ship. Upon landing, the fire was transferred to the new settlement's public hearth, establishing a symbolic continuity and connection with the motherland. This ritual underscores how deeply ingrained Hestia's presence was in the ethos of the ancient Greeks, underpinning the expansion of their civilization. Hestia was also a goddess of the sworn oath and of duty. Hospitality and goodwill between hosts and guests was a sacred rule in ancient Greece, believed to be mandated by the gods, including Hestia. As such, her symbolic reach extended further than familial bonds and secure homes to ensuring behavioral codes within society. Even in the religious hierarchy of ancient Greece, Hestia's significance was prominent. Although she didn't have a vibrant cult following or grand temples erected in her honor, Hestia's worship was widespread and deeply ingrained. Every hearth in every household was her altar, and every freshly kindled fire was lit in her honor, and every meal served was a testament to her. It's important to acknowledge that Hestia's quiet strength as a goddess didn't lay in her victorious exploits, amorous conquests, or vengeful curses. Instead, it was her steadfast presence in everyday lives, her non-judgmental openness, and her quiet but essential guardianship of home and hearth. In some ways, this made her more immediate and accessible to the ordinary populace. Hestia is one of the virgin goddesses of Olympus, alongside Athena and Artemis. Contrary to what the term virgin has evolved to imply in the present day, being a virgin goddess in the ancient Greek context is more on the aspect of being untouched or unclaimed, adhering to a state of independence and complete autonomy, free of the bindings and whims of marriage. Living free of matrimonial ties, Hestia, Athena, and Artemis held unchallenged command over their domains. Hestia, in particular, rejected the marriage proposals of both Poseidon and Apollo and swore an oath to Zeus to remain perpetual in her virginity. By dedicating herself to eternal maidenhood, Hestia symbolized the pure essence of home, hearth, and hospitality, unmarred by the disturbances and obligations of romantic relationships and upbringing of children. This status gave her an all-access pass to every dwelling in Greece. Each homestead carried a part of her, no door was ever shut to her. Hestia was everywhere, all one needed to do was to light a fire on the hearth, and the goddess was there, a divine yet homely presence watching over the setting, ensuring harmony prevailed. To further exemplify her significance, Hestia was the first to be revered in any worship and the first to receive offerings. Despite having a calm mythology, Hestia's few narrative appearances reveal much about her character and, most importantly, her pacifying role among the gods. Hestia was remarkably accommodating and peace-loving, even giving up her position as one of the 12 Olympians to Dionysus to prevent discord among the gods. Some ancient sources indicate that she did this to maintain the balance on Olympus because she desired tranquility and harmony above all else. Interestingly, though Hestia was the sibling of some of the most prominently worshipped and powerful Olympian gods, their tales seldom intertwine. She remained in the periphery of the narrative stage, always present but almost never in the spotlight. Still, her character's essence permeated the mythological conscience in quiet, subtle ways, much like the glowing embers of the hearth she was believed to embody. The symbols and attributes related to Hestia, the Greek goddess of hearth, home, and family. 1. The hearth and fire. As the goddess of the hearth, Hestia is closely linked with the hearth and its fire. This symbolizes warmth, home life, and domesticity. Even within Mount Olympus, Hestia remained by the hearth, keeping the flames alive. An eternal flame in Greek cities was also kept burning for Hestia. 2. The circle. Hestia is often symbolized by the circle or a circular shape. It represents the idea of wholeness and also demonstrates the central role she played in the life of everyday Greek, much like how the hearth would have been the central place in classical Greek homes. 3. Kettle or cauldron. Symbolic of home and hearth, these items fit with Hestia's traditional role as the Greek goddess in charge of domestic tranquility and the well-being of the household. 4. The pig. In some instances, the pig, a common domesticated animal, is associated with Hestia due to her connection to domestic life. 5. The veil. Another symbol often associated with Hestia is the veil, which is tied to her image as a virgin goddess sworn to eternal maidenhood. 6. Staff. Occasionally, Hestia is depicted holding a staff. It represents her power and authority as one of the first Olympians. 7. Architecture. In terms of architecture, Hestia's influence is seen in the design of the Prytaneum, buildings in ancient Greece and Rome where a sacred, municipal eternal flame, representing Hestia, was kept alive. All these symbols and attributes tie back to the central themes of home, warmth, family, protection, and nurturing, reflecting Hestia's role and significance in ancient Greek mythology. How does an ancient Greek goddess resonate in modern times? particularly when she doesn't figure as flamboyantly as Apollo, Athena, or Zeus in mythology. Is Hestia relevant today? While culturally, we may not have public hearths and offer libations to a sacred flame, our homes and hearths have become increasingly precious, particularly in light of recent turbulent times. The symbolism attached to Hestia rings true today. Her embodiment of warmth, safety, stability, and nourishment goes far beyond the physicality of a home and extends to the idea of emotional security and familial bonds. In the field of psychoanalysis, Hestia's character is often evoked to symbolize centeredness, calmness, and an introspective nature. Hestian individuals are seen as peace-loving, family-oriented, and inclined towards nurturing connections. In the realm of popular culture and contemporary literature, we can trace Hestia's influence as well. House of Hestia is a popular trope used to depict a character's place of refuge, comfort, and safety. J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter book series subtly references Hestia. We see Hestia Jones, a character depicted as being part of the Order of Phoenix, a group committed to fighting against characters and forces disrupting harmony and peace, resonating with Hestia's mythology as the peace-loving deity who stands for stability. Her imprint isn't limited to literature alone. Hestia resurfaces in movies, comic books, and video games dedicated to the Greek pantheon, sometimes being highlighted as a nurturing, calming presence counterbalancing the ebullient energy of the other gods. In certain neo-pagan and Wiccan circles, Hestia's worship continues, with rituals and prayers dedicated to the hearth goddess. Hestia's primary role as a symbol of the home's integrity and the sacred duty of hospitality has inspired culinary traditions that pay homage to her. Even the Olympic Games, since 1928, have featured the iconic ritual of the lighting of the Olympic flame, a practice echoing the ancient rituals paying reverence to Hestia's ever-burning hearth. To sum up, Hestia, the Greek goddess of the hearth, is a symbol of home, family, and hospitality. She does not dominate the sprawling universe of Greek mythology as some deities do, but occupies her quiet corner with grace, radiating a warmth that is at once domestic and divine. The hearth she holds sway over is more than a fireplace, it's a symbol of the home's heart, a place for gathering, sharing, and tending to the familial and societal bonds that sustain us. In Hestia, we find a testament to the simple, fundamental aspects of life we often overlook but can scarcely do without. Her essence flows from Greek temples and hearths and trickles down into our contemporary consciousness, offering a warm sanctuary of tranquility amidst the chaos. In the age of a prevailing global crisis where our homes have become our main dwellings more than ever, Hestia's resonance is comforting. She reminds us that home is more than just a place, it is a feeling of warmth, security, belongingness, and calm, things that the world needs in abundance today. As we conclude this exploration into the world of Hestia, the goddess of hearth and home, here's hoping you're left with a sense of warmth like that of a home's hearth, perhaps viewing your own home through a slightly different lens. And just, maybe the next time you sit down for a meal or seek comfort in your home's confines, the echo of a millennia-old reverence to the divine guardian of the hearth will seep in, connecting you to countless others who did the same throughout antiquity. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the quiet yet potent world of Hestia. We look forward to bringing you more interesting tales from world of mythology. Remember, every myth has a meaning, and every deity a tale to tell us. Only if we listen closely will the hearths of old whisper their wisdom.